I got the correct one. There, now we can be heard. Everything's fine. All right, so tonight's topic is microtransactions. Everybody's favorite thing for video games. And I know for a fact that everybody is coming in locked and loaded with like the thing that's going to be the most greediest and scummiest way to earn more money. But before we get into that, I will go ahead and say personally, I don't mind microtransactions as long as they are very tasteful and very um, not scummy. Ooh, thank you for the sub, Seth. Um, but yeah, I'll go ahead and start off by saying I don't mind them as long as they're not. I could, example for where the winds meet is just microtransactions of just cosmetics and not predatory. Yeah, that's the perfect example. Like cosmetics, I'm perfectly fine with, especially having it to the point where companies need money, especially if they make a free to play game like Where the Winds Meet. Example, since we're all playing that, I'm perfectly fine with them having like every type of microtransaction that is cosmetic and making even the moves. Like you could have your base move, or you could buy this cool move that makes it like a shadow blade that runs around and does everything. It does not break the game whatsoever. Doesn't do anything bad to the game. Nothing. Just makes it to where it's again 100% cosmetic. And I understand why they do that, because again, it's very simple and very funny. Of effectively, it's just the rich doing the same thing that they do in real life, just doing it in video games. Of I buy the 40, was it the $40,000 boat that we've been picking on? I buy the 40,000 boat just so I could show it off that I have money and being able to put money back into the game. That's kind of all it is. Is just having it to where they're just showing off their wealth. And again, that's why I'm perfectly fine with it, because it's just, am I ever going to buy the $40,000 boat? No. Do I have 40 grand to drop on a boat? No. Is it going to bother me? Nah. Do I understand it? No, not really. But it doesn't.
Well, I remember seeing that. I remember.
Where I draw the line, are like, um, two kinds of scenarios, and we there needs to be some sort of like regulation on it because like, I'll give example one, then I'll give example two. Example one, everyone's familiar with is loot boxes. I don't care what you think about loot boxes. It is effectively legal gambling.
100%
And
agree.
yes, and
Gambling.
yes, and like realistically, yes, there you can do gambling through like other means and like sports betting has been somehow legalized through weird loopholes.
Yay, casinos
Casinos.
and
Um,
apps.
but like even then, like the legality doesn't really matter to me because like I really feel like loot boxes are aimed for like two specific groups of people. Um, Kids who don't understand like monetary value and adults with gambling problems.
I'm glad you said the kids thing, because that's 100% agree. Like most kids have no idea what a dollar is. And I mean, and you'll have some people, well, I did. Yeah, I didn't. And I'll be honest with you. The only time I ever had a value of a dollar was when I started working and I started actually making money. And then I understood that the dollar goes a very long way. Because it's kind of easy as a kid being told, hey, I want this, no, and then you don't think anything else of it. It's very different to, here's, your paycheck. Now you have to make it survive until your next paycheck. So do I really want to buy this, or do I really not want to buy this? So, and again, for kids, especially playing games and they seeing a really cool outfit, and the only way to buy that is to spend not their money, their parents' money to buy the box in the hopes of getting it, which they probably are
We're
not
not
going to get
even
it.
you're not even buying money. You're buying coins, whatever in-game currency,
Oh yeah,
and then you're
see
so like
that's
I'm glad that they put some litigation. You're starting to see that in certain gotcha games like um oh was it Star Rail and
well, is it United States doing that or is it China? Because China's
no,
pretty
it's
heavy on
the
loot boxes.
it was the UK.
Okay.
And
I,
because they put in the litigation in the UK, they fine. We'll just put it across all games, so we don't have to like be region specific for like, okay, well here's what the game's like in the UK, and here's what it is in the US, here's
oh
what it is in China, here's what it is in Japan. Instead, they were like, fuck it, it's just just one thing. Here's how much it costs for for a pull. Here's their chances of getting a character from the pull, and here's how much money you would on average spend for getting this character.
oh,
And so like instead of being like, oh well, I could get really lucky and spend like $5, it's like, no, the average is like 60 to $70 or whatever it is.
well, it's that as Seth said. Like I do agree with what Seth says. I'm fine with loot boxes earned in gameplay, which I'm perfectly fine with loot boxes of.
Yeah,
You
the
earn the
the minute you
box.
can yeah, the minute you can spend in real IRL money on said loot box is where I draw the line.
Yeah. And again, I go back to it again. It's predatory because it's, as you stated,
Yeah.
it's hitting kids and it's hitting people who have gambling problems. Of, okay, well, I really want this item. Let me go ahead and drop $20. Oh, I didn't get it. Especially the thing that always makes me mad, and this is just a basic gambling 101, where it's you see the gold light, because it's always gold. Gold's the best thing to get. You see that gold light and then it flips to blue or it flips to purple. So it's always that, then it triggers the mind of, huh, if I spend another $20 because I was really close, maybe I could get it this time. It's like, no, you weren't close to it. It's just the mechanics of the whole ideology of, you almost got it, so give us more money, and you might be able to get it next time.
I think I can. I think
And,
I can. I think I can.
again,
Yeah,
that's
but
just
that.
a. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in a way, that's one half of microtransaction, which is the gotcha, gotcha gambling type mentality. Because I'll even admit, on some of the games that I do play, yeah, if I feel like it's like, if I want to, yeah, I'll put some money into it if I'm having fun or whatnot. Majority of the time, not really. But you also see a lot of games out there. There is a guy on YouTube that does a series of it from time to time of, I won't spend any money on this game until a pop-up will show up on the screen or whatnot. And depending on the type of game that you play, again, just dealing with the gotcha half of microtransactions, they throw everything at you to get your attention and say, hey, the biggest thing, especially for a lot of new mobile games, is, you know, spend money to get our in-game currency and you get a first time buy bonus, this of extra
Yeah.
in-game currency plus, look at this ultra rare character that you can get and all that. And now since you got the ultra rare character, hey, you want to level them up, hey, here's a pack just for them for $30.
Well, we can
And
talk about the worst version.
Or like a custom
Um,
skin just for them.
yeah, well, we can talk about the worst version in a second, but one of the more recent ones, and I just mentioned it in our group chat, um, was the fact that we're hiding a soundtrack for the new Samus game behind a $30 paywall.
Hey, yeah,
It's so
accidentally.
scummy. Oh, go ahead.
Like, okay, so you still get the soundtrack, during boss fights and all that. But when you're traveling around, like imagine playing the because I don't know if people are familiar with the new Samus, but if you played like any of the past like Zelda games or like Skyrim, you have some sort of music when you're traveling.
Yeah.
You know, you get on the horse, you get travel music. You get on the mount of whatever, you get travel music. Um, in the new Samus game, you don't get any travel music when you're on your mount. You only get the ambient sounds. The only way to get the travel music is if you buy the $30 amiibo that they sold.
Oh, they're still pushing that stupid amiibo idea.
Yeah,
More
and
power to them as they fall into
and
that
exactly
Oh,
as Steph said, is you can earn the soundtrack in the
that's
game.
even more scummy.
You just have to 100% the game.
So you're gonna
So
need to
there,
100% the game,
yeah,
and then you get the soundtrack. So congratulations, play the game again. Then you actually get to listen to everything.
you
That's
finally get
Or
to
spend 30
experience.
bucks.
You finally get to experience the game as it was intended.
you know I
But
I
you already
honest
beat the game.
I honestly, God thought that Ubisoft was the worst one with releasing. I mean, they're not the worst one. I'll get into my personal version of the worst one of them all. But I thought Ubisoft was like the AAA company that was the worst one with the whole buy Assassin's Creed. Oh, you don't want to grind in Assassin's Creed in this single player game? Well, go ahead and spend money to get the to what was it, a chest to get you good gear and to level up higher in this single player game that has no multiplayer aspect whatsoever. Like, oh my
It's
God, is that
okay. It's
fucking
for Assassin's
awful?
Creed. It's not just that for the weapons and all this stuff. They have legitimate packs of buy these packs and you unlock symbols on your map of hey, here's where all the collectibles are at. Here's where all this is at. Buy this pack and you get double XP permanent or double focus, whatever it is. Essentially, your XP double all the in-game currency that you get from killing enemies to buy upgrades and all that shit.
But it shouldn't be
And
a thing. It's a
so just
fucking
to make
single
the
player
grind
game.
easier.
It's a
Yeah.
single player game. There.
You draw
It
the line, honestly, when they start gatekeeping internal things that should be already like standard with the game.
Looking at you, EA, with Star Wars, how you botched that game. We're going to take the coolest part of Star Wars and we're going to make it to where you have to pay to have access to that.
well, don't worry. We have Destiny that did a better Halo than Halo Infinite. Now has Star Wars in it.
Yeah,
Like when you release a
not
DLC at the
wrong.
same time you're releasing a full game, there's a problem.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Well, it's not even that. Like for Nintendo too, the fact whenever they announced their new Pokemon game, and it wasn't even out yet, because I remember watching that live stream. It wasn't that long ago, but it's like, here's our new Pokemon game. Also, you can pre-order the DLC. It's like, what?
Uh-huh.
The game's not even out yet, so why is this not in the game?
Yeah.
If you pre-order, you can get a rare, like a version of Raichu. So the game's not out, but you're having to pre-order the DLC.
I mean,
There's a problem.
if they did it where, which I can't remember what game it was, which is I'm perfectly fine with, is hey, buy the deluxe area and you get like the next three DLCs completely with it, and you're only spending like I think it was 60, and you're spending 80 for the deluxe for the other DLC, which I'm perfectly
Mhm.
fine with. It's like sure I'll pay $80 and I get the next three DLCs, which is like over a 2 year period. I think it was Elder Scrolls or something with that. I can't fully remember what it is.
I know
Um,
recently that was Stalker.
I'm
Stalker
fine with
2.
that stuff. Like, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and give you an extra bit of money. I get the next DLCs, fine. You get to pad your paychecks a little bit more. Fine, 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 fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. No, if we're going to charge you for the DLC before the game's fucking out yet,
Yeah,
just
but
add it
that
in the
becomes a
fucking game.
problem. That becomes a problem when they actually don't follow through with with actually giving you the DLC that they promised.
Either that or it's the
Or
crappiest DLC imaginable.
Well,
yeah,
giving you
you
the best example was like Tarkov in that situation. Hey, if you buy this $160 pack,
oh
we
god.
we promise any DLC in the future, any update in the future, anything that we release under the Tarkov name in the future, you'll get it. Only for like 2 years later, for them to be like,
Oh, they do stuff.
"Look, we need more money."
Yeah,
and we haven't even fully released the game yet.
and yeah, I mean, as I said, they cut things out just so they could charge you later. This is why the era of the microtransactions are such a big thing of buy DLC, buy this box, buy this. Like, I mean, it's as Sanity said, which again drives me up a wall of, hey, I released this game and I'm going to take this usually either a very hot, attractive character, or they're going to go ahead and put one of the most strongest characters, or the character that's on the game, the front of the cover of the game, put it behind various different paywalls. Then when you finally
Yeah,
buy it, because that's the only way you can really get it, even though they say you can earn it in game, no, you can't. You could buy it. Then after you buy it, you don't have any of their gear. So the only way to do that is to buy the gear, and then you buy the levels. And it's like, you could just add that into the game, especially if you're making it your cover, your cover action, your cover character. Nah.
yeah.
Well, what is it? We had one situation recently. I need to pull up the game. The guy who created Choo Choo Charles developed and came out with another game. What was it called? Tough Bust. It's a, you know, play with your friends, you're breaking out of prison and all that stuff. But it just was terrible because it was just your friends just play as the prisoners breaking out. It's not you versus other people who are the guards. It's just guards or AI. People have beaten this game in like a minute. But the minute it came out, even though it was announced of, hey, free cosmetics and all that stuff because it's just going to be, you know, playing with your friends type deal. Initially came out as $20, which people were upset because this game is easily broken. And like I said, people have beaten this game close to under a minute now. And it's one of those things of if one person breaks out and escapes, then it's just game over. Everyone gets a black screen. So it's not everyone has to make it out. It's just whoever gets out the fastest. But under that, guys, $20, and then also came out with 3 cosmetic packs that you could buy. So there goes that whole free cosmetic stuff you can earn in game out the window right off the bat.
Again,
and
it's all how they could get more money instead of making a very good game. I mean, and the thing that always drove me up a wall about this is, all right, so we're gonna try to charge you out every way we can. Literally, just take you, throw you to the ringer, and try to extract every dime imaginable. Meanwhile, you have like Baldur's Gate 3 that's like, yeah, we just yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, we just went ahead and put years and years of passion into this game. Easily made all their money back and then some, and to the point where it's one of the best games of the century, and arguably one of the best games of the century. And it's like, if you, I don't know, if you actually just put your time and effort into making a very good game, high quality, it might take you a few years, but you could easily earn all the money back that you put into it and then some. Another, another company that's now made way more money than ever before, and actually is probably one of the staples that other game companies need to follow is Hello Games. I mean, we were joking about them earlier. Please actually charge for your DLC at this point in time. Like, please actually do that. I am fine with paying for your DLC now because you guys have taken a game that was honestly, arguably one of the worst games ever created to one of the best, if not the best, sci-fi game exploration building ever created. Like, again, just do what they do. Put passion behind it and actually give a damn. Instead of doing this half baked stuff.
Dude, speaking of like DLCs, like like there are some games though that charge out the ass for a DLC. Like good example, Destiny. They charge basically a full game for a new expansion. But then, like on the flip side, you got games like FromSoft that their DLC, a lot of their DLCs I would say are reasonably priced, especially considering like how much it adds to the game.
Well, one that's worse than any of them is Europa, and that's one of my favorite games. Like I can't.
yes.
I mean, they have so much DLC now. You want to talk about a game that is half baked when it's launched? Is Europa. Paradox is one of the worst companies, and I was going to get into the honest to God worst genre for this is strategy games. Strategy games is the worst genre for microtransactions, and I will die on this hill because the apps and the game structure is awful. The apps are the worst of them all. I don't know if y'all tried to play any strategy games. Hi, I love strategy games. Strategy games are my favorite thing. You cannot play a strategy game anymore and expect not to put money into it to actually be successful in this game and go up against other players. It's impossible at this point in time. But
Where it used to be Korean games, because
I
you
mean,
remember how bad they
oh, yeah,
were.
Korean
Like,
games are
Yeah.
bad, but like again, strategy games have gotten bad. I mean, Europa, what was it? I looked at it when my um um when Luna's brother, my brother-in-law was trying to get into it. It was or $40 for the game, and then $280 for all the DLC. So you're going to have to pay almost $310 just to play the game. And you're like, well, I will play without the DLC. The problem is every single part of Paradox DLC, every DLC in of itself is crappy. It really doesn't add anything to the game. But if over time, it actually makes the game far better and far more enjoyable. That's the problem that I have with it. So instead of actually just releasing a really, really great game at $60, leaving it at $60, and just, that's all you're going to do. No, we're just going to keep trying to make it to where we're going to wring everybody's wallets out. And again, and it's also worse on the apps. Every single game on the App Store, if you play, it's always build a base simulation, and the moment you get in, you're gonna get hit with all these pop-ups to spend $5. Go ahead and do a monthly subscription, and you get all these in-game coins. You get to level up your bases faster, and you get more protection and everything. It's just
Yep.
it's awful. I don't. Again, I used to love strategy games, but no, there's no good building strategy game anymore because they all moved to the app stores, and now they're all getting ringed to the point where no one just enjoys them anymore. I think the worst of them all was the what was it? Army Man app. In that style, where it's open world, you can attack other players, and you have 15 tier level soldiers, where you go from tier 1 all the way to tier 15. And when you log, I mean, this game, like, oh yeah, the server's only 5 days old. Jump in there, someone already has tier 14 soldiers curve stomping everybody because they dropped about $900 to $1,000 into this game. It's like, why? Why? What's the
so,
point?
so what's
Because they
actually
got to be the top on the leaderboard.
so what's actually really interesting about why I said formerly Korea on that is the Korea's consumer agency, um, sorry, there was the Korea Fair Trade Commission. Yeah, yeah. Um, Basically, they got really was the easiest phrase is butthurt about how the world was treating them on like on like the games industry because like I mean let's be honest, if you played a Korean game back in the early 2000s, mid to like 2010s, you would probably expect a pay to win sort of um, setup. They've drastically brought that back, and certain companies, I think Seth mentioned them earlier. Nexon, yeah,
Yep, next
Nexon
on.
was heavily, heavily. Um, they took a pretty decent like cut out of their own money for that year to pay back the consumers because they weren't giving like probability information for like polls. Um, it what ended up being $30 million.
which is pocket change to them, and that's drives me up a wall
Which,
of
considering
nothing.
for like big, if you like, yeah, you're right. But if you look at the like the whole like picture, that was the most a company had been like fined for in Asia.
But
Um,
I
so like
guarantee you they probably made
realistically,
about $1 billion from that, or somewhere around there, especially if they're a giant company like Nexon. 30 million's
yeah.
nothing to
Well,
them.
I'm not really sure how much money they get from Maple Story. I assume like millions. Anyways, maybe a few hundred. I don't. Maybe Seth can look that up and write it in.
Again, it's just
But
it's crazy.
I know like if you were gonna talk about their lifetime revenue, minimally Nexon's made like at least $30 billion.
Yeah, and again, it's amazing what these companies decide to do, and knowing that they could get away with it, and not at all caring about it, because again, no one's really going to pay attention to exactly what they do, and they're just going to keep on until they become like Ubisoft, where there's so much bad traction that they finally just cave and then they have to get shut down,
Hmm.
which is effectively what's happened in Ubisoft. Because
No, they keep coming up with bad ideas for games, or they good ideas, but they drop the ball.
yeah, because again, they're so busy at caring about instead of is this game going to be fun and enjoyable? Yes. Well, okay. How much money can we make off of this? Well, we could make a good amount of it. Well, we don't want it unless we could make a lot of money off of it really fast. No one. Oh,
Imagine being handed a gold bar and and shitting out like bronze.
that's effectively what it is. Again, I go back to Ubisoft versus Lorien Studios. Lorien Studios created Baldur's Gate 3. Took them what 10 years to do it. How many games did Ubisoft make in the 10 years that it took Lorien Studio to make Baldur's Gate 3? And then take the combined revenue of of Ubisoft's games, put it up against Lorien Studios. I guarantee you, Baldur's Gate 3 came out ahead with just that one game because they actually gave a shit about that game instead of Ubisoft of, well, we're just going to see how much we can squeeze out of the Assassin's Creed franchise and all the other games that they decided to create. And another
Yeah.
company that's doing the same damn thing is Bethesda. However, I'm pretty sure Microsoft is about to kick them in place. Hence why they're
Bro, I blame the starting downfall of Ubisoft to I blame it on Tencent, honestly.
Yes, yes.
yeah, I can see that.
Well, it's not just that. It's just like for Assassin's Creed, nothing wrong with transitioning it from a simple stealth game to RPG. You needed to breathe some life into the series. Assassin's Creed Origin did a fantastic job of doing it, but that just opened up the floodgates to, oh, we're going to treat this like an RPG now. We can just flood the gates with microtransactions.
So
Oh,
many
hey,
in that game, man.
like even what I talked to you about earlier, and Roderick, you will love this. Assassin's Creed Shadow. They're doing a crossover. Guess with who?
Monster Hunter.
Attack on Titan. So you can get a cosmetic pack where the female assassin is dressed like one of the regular people. Yasuke can get a cosmetic outfit to make him look like one of the Titans.
Wait, isn't this like during like the
Yeah,
Japanese Steel era?
yeah, but you also got to remember their explanation for all this is, oh, it's animus
Oh God.
recreation, so therefore we can do whatever. Assassin's
Right.
Creed Valhalla did a crossover with Destiny. They also, goddamn, they basically threw in like modern, not guns per se, but you could essentially get like a riot shield and stuff in that game too. So
Honestly, I seriously believe this is we're probably hitting the era of
I
where
haven't seen what it looks like, Seth.
we're gonna have these like AAA companies actually fall through, and this is where the rise of indie, quote unquote indie, because like you have to be sort of like you can't honestly it's gonna be one of those like borderline kind of things because like when I say indie, because you look at Lariat Studios, right, and you're like, that's indie because, but or Claire Obscure 33, right? Um, you're like, well, that's technically indie. They had so much money that they brought in, like originally invested into the game. Like, what do you consider indie? Like, obviously you can't be like one of the multi-million-dollar
Yeah, I'm
companies.
sorry. Lorien Studios isn't indie. I mean, they're not independent. Now, again,
Well,
I would consider
well,
them
here's the
like.
thing. So like Larian Studios, yeah, you couldn't consider them indie, but like technically they are. Um,
Well, again, what
like
I
they,
consider like I guess indie has this point in time has transitioned into what the word is no longer actually meaning. Like independent is
yeah,
indie is independent. Technically, yeah,
right,
sure, that's technically they are independent. However, as we the gamers have constantly said, it feels like indie has been pushed into this term of a team in a shed or garage trying to build a game with zero giant backing from any AAA or any big business. That's what indie kind of pops into your head, or at least what majority of people it pops into their head. You can't say Lauren Studios is indie in that term because they're not. They have
yeah,
tons of money and they have a state like Hello Games. Sorry, they're not indie anymore. They actually have a dedicated studio, dedicated team, dedicated company structure, and everything like that, as well as what was CD Project Red. They're not
hmm
They're not indie because again they have stocks, backers, shareholders, etc., etc. But I will say,
I
like,
think I think what I would consider indie is you haven't had a breakout game yet,
yeah.
and
Or if you did,
until
like
that one,
I will say,
right?
or if you
Until that one,
did, you don't you still stay. You're small. You're relatively small. The reason why I said
yeah, that's
I
true.
care about that one is what was it? Shovel Knight and what was it? The other game that
What's
is
on
like that just came out
Hollow Knight?
following Hollow Knight.
Silk Song.
Like technically they're still indie because they're technically what
Right.
I think they're super duper small and it's either one or two people making it. I'd still
I
consider them
think
indie.
I think Team Cherry is still only like 3 people or
Yeah,
so,
as I was
like
saying, like
main people.
there's like three or
Yeah.
four people, but I mean, yeah, they're to me they're still independent. They're still indie. Um, because again, I go back to if you have like a dedicated studio, a dedicated team, uh, all this stuff, you lose the indie title. But I don't consider you AAA because AAA are the people who can back up a giant wheelbarrow or giant dump truck full of money into whatever they want to, and then you know
Yeah.
that
Well, I'm
that they
sure,
can
but
do
like,
that.
at what point, like, how many employees is it before we say, like, okay, you're no longer indie, right?
Well, see, I think it's very difficult because
Because you could look at like Jagex, right? The guys who made RuneScape. You'd be like, well, they probably don't have. They're probably like in between indie and a big company. They have like 500 employees.
yeah,
Yeah, that would
that
technically not be indie
that's
anymore.
definitely not fucking indie. Jesus, I didn't know they
Like
had that many people on that
like
game.
they're
Yeah,
not
like
renting the space that
Yeah,
they're in.
they own the space that they are in. They own the whole damn city block at that point in time.
But
um,
then, like, even on the other side, you have games like, Deltarune, Undertale, technically
Oh,
made by one person, Toby Fox, but
so Seth
had
brought up
help, like little help here and there too.
So Seth brought up, double A games is a term. And I guess I was about to say, I guess technically,
yeah,
if there is triple A, I guess there's a single A and double A, and I would probably put like double A in the runes. If it is what I think it is, double A is technically where I would put um, CD Project Red, um, Hello Games, the RuneScape company. I put them in those places where again they have money to make whatever game they want to
and,
do, but they don't
and then
have enough
I'll
money
also
to
throw another
fall.
one. Yeah, I'll throw another one on the table, and then like, Battle State Games, the guys who made Escape from Tarkov, right?
Hmm.
We have no idea how many people are on that development team. They don't have to give that number because they have an office in England, right?
Yeah.
But none of them work there. They're all in Russia.
Huh.
So like and they won't give that kind of information. So it's like they could have a team of like 5 people, 10, 30, 50. So like we can't but like they've sold so many so many like copies of the game at this point. So we have an idea like they're probably like stacked, but like
Oh yeah.
but even still, eh, who knows? They could be considered indie. like,
Yeah, no, I am about to
that
say who
question
knows
mark.
at that point. But yeah, again, like that's where I would put. That's where I would put them is like, but again, double A games or double A, where I would
Yeah.
put like some of the bigger indies. I guess is where you could do because again, to me, indies is always like, do they have enough money to be full time working on
Mhm.
their project and have the backing or not have the backing, but just have enough money to actually feed themselves, pay rent on time, pay their down payment without having to like put everything that they own into the business and hope it doesn't fail. That's to me
Yeah.
is like an indie because again, I was thinking of was it Hello Games and some of the other stuff when they were first coming out with creating No Man's Sky. The guy was like, "Yeah, I put my house into the game. Literally, I put like
Well, I mean,
car, everything
Well, yeah,
into
but
yeah.
that
this."
that was a different scenario too, because that was them coming from literally making. If you guys even remember this game, Joe Danger,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
they
that.
were coming off of that game to
Yeah,
say, okay,
the
we are
only
going.
reason. That was the only reason I heard about it because you kept saying, "Oh my God, it's the same studio that did Joe Danger." I'm like, "Yeah, I
Like,
guess." Like, well,
I've never
yeah,
heard of
just
Joe
you're just going,
Danger.
what the fuck's Joe Danger? It's like it's something stupid,
you
but
were
how the
so
fuck is the same
excited.
studio who made Joe Danger making this now?
But I mean, you
Lit-
can definitely see like the differences in yeah, we can even talk about them, right? But like completely the opposite of like greediness and transactions, right?
Oh yeah.
They went in with such high expectations, such like high expectations of the game of themselves. They were greatly talking about it. Developers were talking about their game to the community without having an intermediary. And oh God, we've promised way too much. Oh shit.
Well, even the
only,
problem with
only,
that too, it
only
wasn't
for like,
necessarily them promising too much. It was just you have a
or just
guy out
talking,
there who,
or just talking too much,
Well
more than
yeah.
well,
they're
yeah,
supposed to,
yeah,
right?
because you have a guy out there who cannot handle being in front of a camera.
Well,
Yeah,
And
it,
whenever you have reporters asking questions, oh, is it going there going to be something like this in here? Is there going to be something like that? And your guy
right,
just
right,
goes, well, maybe we're looking at it. We
again,
don't know.
I
And
go
then
back
they just
to
blow.
well, yeah,
right. I
I
mean,
go back to the whole
even,
indie
yeah,
thing. I go back to the whole indie thing. Technically, they were indie because again, when you get AAA, you have someone who's specifically on payroll to go talk to reporters and go talk to like people. You don't just send the most
you
talkative
don't
person in
send up
front of
nerd
these
number
people
one.
because it's like again like that's like if it's ever got anything big. I'm not going and talking to people. That's not me. I'm sending Knight in for that one because Knight knows how to talk to people. He's
Yeah,
not going to just
we'll send in nerd number one that's extroverted, not nerd number one that's introverted.
exactly. I'm not sending like the guy who has a short temper, the introvert, the person who's going to stare at the camera, or the person who's going to go and start rambling and talk about everything we're doing. I'm sending the person who's actually trained to do this. But at
Yeah,
Hello Games, they didn't have that, and so the guy was. I
yeah.
mean, again, I remember him sitting on Colbert, Stephen Colbert, talking about how this game is going to be so massive that in your lifetime you would never be able to explore every single planet. You'll be able to play with your friends and you'll be able to meet them and see the interactions and everything else because the game is so big that no matter what. And even I think I remember him even talking about how it's like you could see other people's buildings because it's so big you will never bump into somebody ever. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you're never gonna bump into somebody ever. It's not even multiplayer. There's not even the same server. It's like none of this
Yeah,
is real.
Well, to
but
be
yeah,
fair, they weren't
no.
also expecting people to find the same planet right
Again, as
away
the
on
guy
day
said, like,
one.
technically it's impossible because the game is so massive. It's like You did not follow the one rule of the internet. Do not challenge the internet on anything. They will win.
But I mean, at this point though, like they were like, "Hey, look, we messed up. Here's the here's the free update. Okay, here's a free update. Okay, that's pretty cool. Here's a free update. Okay, narrows eyes. Here's a free update. Here's
We're
four
so,
free updates.
we're so
Okay,
sorry here.
all right. We hear you. We see what you're doing. You can relax. Here's a free update, bro. I barely even touched the last one. I just got on the game.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we
Like,
released an update while you were playing the game. Gosh damn it, please.
again,
We understand you're sorry. Yeah, you understand we're sorry. But have
here's
you
an update.
heard we're giving you a free update?
It is again. It's
Have you rested? Have you rested in these past few years? No. No, I'm still living on just coffee and pure imagination. Here's another
I'm about to say, here's
update.
another update
Dear
for you.
Star, dear
Like,
Star, sorry for disappointing you. Here's another update.
I know, again, I go back to please charge for the updates now. Charge for your DLCs. This is the one company that actually exists that I want to pay them for DLCs because it's like, yes, you screwed up. Yes, but unlike any other gaming company out there, instead of just
I
shutting
named
down
one.
and walking away, they buckled up, fixed every problem, and made the game so much better than it ever could have been. To the point where they're now their second game that they're making, actually third. Uh, they made a little Fox game. It's honestly really, really, really beautiful. But their third game, I'm buying. I mean, at this point in time, it's like, I don't know. Even if it has a rocky start, it's kind of a long-term investment. I know it's going to get really good because of what you guys did with No Man's Sky, no matter what. And also, CD Projekt Red did the same thing, and I'll give them credit for that one.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and also,
I'll give you huge positive. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also like on the same brand, like well, like in the same breath, like Kuro Games did the exact same thing. Like when they launched, whether well, actually when I think when they launched even their first game,
Oh yeah, it would be
Raven,
the fourth.
um,
Yeah, it would be the fourth. My
um,
bad.
like Raven Point or whatever the first game was called. Like every time they've launched their games, they've um had issues um
Yeah.
like upon launch, and I think it was for like their first game, the owner or like like the head producer or whatever, like head project manager, he like went on um in like a maid outfit was like vehemently apologizing, and they continuously like worked on their shit, like, and then when Withering Waves was having issues on launch, like same thing, the you know same guy came in, like was like on an interview or stream or like live stream or something like that, and was vehemently apologizing. They've like worked nonstop to constantly optimize and like patch their game to fix all the bugs that they had at launch, and like just, and I don't remember if I think they got like Game of the Year or were nominated for Game of the Year this past year, but like just the huge change of like their rocky start to now being like one of the more, at least as far as like gotcha games go, being like one of the most popular ones.
Oh yeah, and another one, and another game company that's really doing really well and listening to the community and constantly working on everything is Arrowhead. I mean, they had so many rocky starts and so many problems, and they keep overcoming it and constantly doing better. Like one of the biggest complaints was recently is your game is too big for what we have, and we really need to optimize because it's constantly messing up and everything. And so much so that like the morale of the I was reading an article, the morale of the company was low because like the war bonds weren't clicking, people were leaving in droves, people said the game's unplayable and constantly getting problems. So they released a new war bond. They listened to the community and what the community wanted with this war bond, and it was a heavy success for them. And on top of that, they released that they're the new I think it's in beta right now, but the new expansion is going to be, where it's going to go from 132 gigabytes for Helldivers down to like 25. So they're like, yeah, we're knocking it out of the park. And it's like, okay, cool. Again, another game company that's technically, in my mind, still either. I guess at this point in time, with how successful Helldivers is and how much money they made off of that, I'd probably bump them into a double A, not triple A, but double A. But again, like,
All right,
they
you
actually
ready for
care.
the you ready for the Golden Boy Award, the number one fucking ongoing game of the year, hopefully for the during the for the game awards
Hmm.
that's coming Thursday, I think,
Yeah,
which we should stream that. We should absolutely stream that as a group.
Mhm.
I'm down.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Seth got it, dude. It's fucking Warframe. Jesus Christ. I like I have they give out these massive updates, right? Like
Mhm.
complete like storylines where I'm like, bro, I've spent 7, 8 hours on this.
Yeah, I was going to say their next update's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah. Like and it's just like
Not
I've spent
sponsored,
eight
but
but like, it's like I've spent 8 hours on this. Just story. I'm not even talking about like, farming shit or which honestly I haven't really found a game other than Warframe where it's actually been fun to like farm like like points or like weapons and shit. Like that's like a legit fun game to do that in.
Mhm.
But they're like, hey, look, you can buy and get it right now.
you don't
The
even
war.
buy it; it's just free.
Well, they said like you can buy it and get it now, or if you're poor, that's okay. Go earn it and still get it in the same day.
And again,
Depending on your luck.
I'll be honest with you, Warframe to
Like, you
me
can
is one
earn
of
it
the
in game
companies.
and get it. Like you can earn it, get it in the same day, and heck, you could do what I do or did. I'd be like farming like random warframes in the game, and then I would get like in-game currency because like someone would be like, "Hey, look, I need this part, give me part," and I would sell it and then get like the buying currency in the game. That's cool as shit. Like people are so willing to throw out money, um, because they support the game. Like at one point, I was just like, I told Seth like I never really try to spend money on free to play games. But like after I forget which arc it was. I had finally gotten through one of the story arcs, and I was just like, bro, that was so fucking good. I'm actually spending $20 now, and I went and like put in like $20 into the game because I was just like, gosh, like they, yeah,
Yeah, was
yeah,
it
it
the
was
new
New
war?
War, yeah, it was New
Yeah,
War.
that was
Yeah.
so good.
But
Well,
like I was so and like at this point I'm like, bro, I've spent what how many thousand hours in the game at that point. I've spent
actually, I wish there was an award that you could give some companies, which is like
yeah.
the longest beloved video game.
Well, yeah,
Because
that like
Warframe's
right
been
now
along for
they
like
still
20
have
years.
well like with the streamer or not stream
No,
the game awards. Sorry, there we go. The game awards is has them on as best ongoing game right now. Of course, they have a few others, but like realistically, I feel like Warframe deserves it. Like, yeah, Helldivers is cool. Like, don't get me wrong, right?
Well, they're not ongoing into terms of Warframe. Like, I remember playing Warframe, I mean, 15, 16 years ago, well before I knew any of y'all.
Yeah.
I played it for a little while, and then I jumped off, and then I forgot all about it. And then when y'all was talking to y'all, it's like, is that still alive? Like, holy crap! And they
So
changed
on
so much.
Steam, yeah. So on Steam, it's this shit's been running for 12 years at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is a 12-year-old game,
and
and we still
it's
get like
new
pretty
Yeah, like
decent
updates, new
updates.
everything.
Like,
they're releasing their new Devil Frame tomorrow, which
yeah.
is actually going to get me back into the game because I've taken a bit of a break from it just because
Well, everyone takes a temporary break, but everyone always, eventually goes back.
I'm going back for Wisp.
The
Oh yeah,
nun.
because she's
Yeah,
getting she's
they
Oh,
Yeah.
added like
she
a
getting her.
fucking dating simulator in this fucking game. Like
again,
Jesus
Not
Christ! Like,
they listen to their
look
fan base.
as the devs said on that whole thing. It's not cheating because time travel. So there you go.
yeah. So like you get to do a
you can
fucking
date
dating.
multiple people.
Oh,
Yeah, you get a dating sim in this game. Like they're now like humanizing all the warframes, and they're like, yeah, you thought they were hot as a warframe. Well, here's what they actually look like, and you're like, oh my god, they're
so
hot.
I will
Brr.
say, I will say one thing about Warframe, and I don't remember the company that actually created them. I don't know their name, or else I'd say the company. Um,
Digital
Digital
stream.
stream.
so Digital Stream. The reason why I say they're probably, if not one of the best, um, we don't care if we make money because we'll make money. We'll make money no matter what, but we don't want every single nickel and dime that you possess. Is on their terms of service on their website in Warframe. If you go there, they pretty much state, "Oh, you want to sell merch of this stuff of our game? Go for it. We don't care. Just not on Amazon and not on eBay. Etsy's fine. Your website's fine. In person's fine. We don't care. Just not on Amazon and not on eBay. So none of
Yeah.
the two large sellers. No other game company that I know actively says that, does that, or put it in writing like that. Because majority of the time, you put anything up there, they just send you a cease and desist on Etsy, on everything. We still have our Grindel T-shirt on Etsy, and it's been up there for 5 years. And it's never once his strike. I never had to fight it and have to do anything because again, they do not care. And that's there's no other game company because I guarantee you, you put one of the designs up for any of the game that you talk about, it'll get hit with a cease and desist immediately. Warframe,
Yeah.
we don't care. You go make your money. We're happy you're making money off of the stuff that we have. It just means that people like our stuff that much. The reason why I said that because we did sell a Grindel T-shirt just 2 weeks ago, um,
Actually,
and it
I'll
just
give the
popped in my
best
head.
example from Warframe. Right. Oh shit, they got a battle pass. Well, all right. And I there was a streamer who said it better, but it was just like, oh god, they have a fucking battle pass in this game. How much is it? It's free. What do you mean it's free? What's the catch? There is no catch. All right, so I got to pay like what, $10 to get the ones in between? No, it's free. And he tried to fit his fucking mind around it. He was like staring at the screen. He's just like, I don't get it. Like just like, oh gosh, dude, like you know it's bad when
I was about to
like,
say, you know, it's bad when you're like trying to find in between. Where's the money at? Like picking it up, taking it apart. Where do I put my credit card at? Where is this working?
yeah. So it's just like, okay, so like really, like what kind of money do I have to put in for Warframe? It's like realistically, only if you want to.
Yeah,
Like like and even still you can like get money from other people, like I said, who want Warframe parts or want like certain things. You can trade in game to buy stuff in game. And so like realistically you can do everything for free, including getting the cool cosmetics for free in game. And it's just like, oh gosh, dude, like please help me find a way to spend money on you.
Yeah, and like the only cosmetics that I think you can't buy with blueprints are like the ones that are um like fan made that they added in that.
Yeah, which supports the
Yeah, 10
fucking
of 10.
which supports those content creators. Like
again, I go back to like they
oh gosh,
actively
man.
don't. They actively like, yeah, we're made a game. We like our game. Have fun with the game. Do whatever you want to.
Which
And
honestly
again,
is
if you
probably
talk, if
why
you
they're
take
so
Warframe and you put it
popular.
up against like any of the Ubisoft games, none of them compete. You still talk about Warframe. It's still active. It's still alive. It's still doing well. It's still moving. The Ubisoft games, they're all dead because again, like how can we pinch every dime from our players versus Warframe of how can we make this the most fun and interesting slash make it to where people are going to be staring at this new model because we know what they want. Looking at you, Ember. Um, how do we do that? And again, it's because one company cares, the other company just cares about your wallet. They both care
I will
about you
make
two different
I
ways.
will make one
a passion
argument.
project versus like a cash grab.
I will make one argument of a game that has lasted longer than Warframe.
Hmm.
I want to see if you guys can guess something like this. It is a game that came out in 2009 and is still receiving updates and DLCs to this day. Would you like to take a guess how much DLC it has so far?
I was gonna say old school RuneScape, but technically you have to pay like um you still have to pay something for like membership with it. That they
well,
try to rat people out on.
this
Just
game does have a subscription model with it as well. I believe
I'll
that
get
was
to that in a
recent.
second, Tempest, but I'm trying to think of this game
But
Sanity's talking about.
if it is known for how expensive it can get.
Are you talking about the
Let's see if
train
that-
simulator?
Yes.
oh god, dude.
Guess how much DLC that has.
At one point in
how-
time, it was 3,000. I'm scared to know what it is now.
No, it was
No,
much more.
that's
than
the
3,000, dude.
price.
I said
That
at
was the
one
was
price
point in
back
much-
time,
the
it
day.
was 3,000. I don't know what it is today.
Yeah, and, like 3,000 when maybe the game first came out. Like
I'm gonna go ahead and
They
guess
add so many-
$12,000.
no, so much more.
Oh
So
God!
much more.
I
No,
last time I looked at it, it was like 24,000. And that was
Because it is sitting at 781 pieces of DLC. Cheapest being $10, the more expensive ones being $40.
Oh,
I am
What's the
not going to
price
sit
total?
here to do the math.
What's the no? You scroll down, it should give you a price total.
It scrolls so long. It only I click
No,
on show.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
It says show 200 of 781. It will not show you or let you
Oh,
add
God.
all
Jesus.
to it.
No, I got this. It was Train Simulator Classic, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no worries. I got this, boys.
All right.
Sure,
I'll be back.
You do the math.
While you do
I'll
that,
be back.
as Tempest said,
I
most
think
people
I
don't
can-
realize that, as Tempest says, if you like the game and you make the game fun, and you make players fall in love with the game, they will spend money. Again, as I stated for Helldivers, like I will actively try to buy as many of the war bonds as I can, not because I don't have the super credits, because again I want to support the game. I actually really enjoy the Helldivers. I have, if not, I have the same amount of fun, if not more fun, than I had with Halo 3, because it's a fun game. So yeah, I'm going to support them every chance I get.
I do appreciate how the community doesn't even want to do the math of how much the DLC costs. It's just pick the routes that you like, guys. You don't have to do. You don't have to pick it all. Just pick the ones you like.
Oh god, I'm scared to know what this total is.
And a majority and all those DLCs for that game is just train routes. It's not like you get packs of you get this country or this, like for American Truck Simulator, their DLCs are states.
I'm actually terrified to add the entire list into my wish list, but I'm tempted just for the meme, guys.
I would.
You will never be able to run your wish list ever again.
I know, that's why I'm like, dude, I'll have to remove everything or it'll crash every time I click it.
Let me just do a separate lookup. Jesus, no, that's all games on Steam. I don't want that. Jesus Christ, $500,000 to buy all games on Steam. Recent investigation into it shows that you're looking at probably exceeding $15,000.
So I asked Copilot, the full price is estimated above total of $10,000. So even Copilot has no idea.
Yeah, no one wants to do the math.
No. Even
No one
Copilot's
wants
like,
that.
I'm not. Even the AI says, nah, I don't want to do the math. It's above $10,000.
I mean, just get it on sale, and it's probably like down to $10,000.
Oh,
but
God.
because there was still that one classic thing way back in the day of, hey guys,
Mhm.
guess this number, guess your post number, and I will buy you whatever game you want. The guy that won just said, all right, Train Simulator with all the DLCs at the time, and that was
S-
back when it was $6,000
I about to say
for
six
all.
to 7,000 because I remember that joke, and it's like I don't know. That's been quite a few years. I'm
I'm
scared.
almost I'm almost gonna judge like other games though, these like modern day games on like the price increase. Like
The
because we're getting like complete games, right? On it's like on one side, $70. I'm gonna rag on Monster Hunter Wilds right now. $70 for that fucking game, right? And then we have like Clear Obscure 33. How much did that game release for? 40, right?
yeah.
I think
I
it was like
believe,
30,
no, I think
$40,
it's
something like that.
$40.
It's $49.99 right
All right,
now on
$50.
sale. Right now on sale, $40.
And then you have Silk Song that released for $20 and pissed
Yeah,
off a whole bunch of
you got
AAA
Silk Song on
developers.
a
Because
fucking
how dare
no.
you?
Then we have like Silk Song where they're like, hey, $20.
We're just doing a $5 increase from Hollow Knight. Hope you guys aren't too, sorry it took too long, but here you go.
So I will
Yeah,
say the only game company that I am okay with the price as stupid as it is and I agree with it. Um, Begrudgingly, I'll agree with it. However, they then since pissed me off, so I'm still not going to buy it because screw them. Is Rockstar with GTA 6 being I think $120. I'm
like hell
fine.
no, man.
Well,
Hell
no,
no.
I'm fine with the 120, and here's the reason as to why. Um, it's a 10-year commitment for the game, and their DLC. Nor you'd usually for the DLC you don't have to buy any of their DLC to play the game because a lot of the times they have the paid DLC and a lot of it's just free updates and free movements going forward with it.
Yeah.
They did 120 because they know that me, you, like for me and Luna, I'd buy the game and we'd play it for the next on and off for the next 8 years. And
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with it. However, they then since pissed me off saying that they're not going to release the PC for quite a while. It's like, all right, well then screw you. I'm not buying the game. But
Hey, you want to know another game that had a 10-year commitment?
Destiny.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, it reached its commitment,
I did so. It's
and
actually
now they're
exceeded
just
that
having
commitment.
fun doing whatever. But I will personally say I was never planning on getting GTA 6 because they Rockstar promised that we was going to get some form of DLCs for Red Dead Redemption 2, and then they fucking flaked out on that for GTA Online, and they can suck a fat one.
Hold on. I'm sending you
Halo
all
Infinite had a
the.
10-year commitment too.
There you go. There's the meme. A perfect Duke Nukem, motherfuckers. 10, no, was it 12 years commitment?
Yeah,
Oh
Honestly, fucking
God.
terrible fucking game. You can't
yeah.
say that. You can't say that. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. You know
Like
what? I'll backtrack. Y'all win. I'll backtrack on that. I'll give you that.
I
the
to give
highest
them the
fucking expect.
slightest.
No, the highest fucking expectations for Duke Nukem going in. We have not had a game like this. It's coming back, boys. Fucking disappointment in the first 10 minutes. I immediately went back to GameStop. Someone bought it from my hands for $10 more than I paid. I was the happiest motherfucker alive after that.
I only got the game. I remember getting it when it was on sale for.
I
So
never.
what?
What?
I said I was the Duke Nukem, like the Duke Nukem game, like Banjo Kazooie 3 bad.
Yes.
No, it was bad in its own era
No,
of.
it was as bad. It
No,
had
no,
that
no,
same
no.
sort
I
of
was
like
I was gonna say it was
disgusting
bad
feeling.
in its own unique way. That's progressively, arguably one of the worst games ever created. Mainly
Banjo
because it
Kazooie
had
bolted nuts,
well,
motherfucker.
mainly because it had no idea what the fuck Duke Nukem wanted to do. It
Yeah.
was in such a long
Well,
hiatus that it literally started bringing in every single game trope of the last 10 years. And if you don't, well, there's no game trope. Yeah, there was game tropes back between the 2005 to 2015. You had the Halo trope, you had the Call of Duty trope, you had Batman Arkham Asylum trope. You had all these different types of tropes of being very light heavy, being very story driven, being very heavy FPS driven, being very dark, being very light, and Duke Nukem shoved all that into one game, and it
Well,
did
that's the
not
problem
work.
you have whenever you first announced that game. Where is this? Back in 1997, just for it to never get released until 2011, when its time has already passed.
Yeah, and a racing game too.
Like
So
the
exactly like
better,
Banjo-Kazooie 3, because it became a racing game.
Yeah, nuts and
the
bolts.
best
Yeah,
thing, the
totally great.
best thing they ever did with the Duke Nukem franchise was having him as a DLC character for a game no one's probably ever heard of or forgotten about, Bulletstorm.
Oh
Well,
gosh,
the
dude,
whole
I hated
purpose
that
of that
game.
game is to just be over the top satire. Even the goddamn, what was it, the demo tutorial, like demo thing they released for it
Yeah.
beforehand, made fun of like Call of Duty and Fallout and every other first person shooter because it was just taking the piss out of it.
I think one of my other favorites about Duke Nukem was they literally had Duke Nukem pick on Master Chief in the middle of the game because of like his comment was, I don't hide behind a mask or have a helmet on and stuff like that. It's like, my guy, your game is so bad no one remembers it exists. They still talk
No,
about Halo 3 now.
talking about that Bulletstorm, yeah. Talking about
Yeah.
Bullets, it was more fun muted than it
Yeah,
was
but it
playing
was
with the sound on.
Yeah,
That's
but it
bad.
still was more creative for the first person shooter genre
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you could do all these
absolutely.
skill shots and all this stuff and grapple. Like it was its own thing, but taking the piss out of it. Duke Nukem Forever kept building up and literally to a point sniffing its own farts and thinking, oh, this is the best thing ever. This is gourmet. People are going to love this. And it just fell so fucking flat. The only positive thing that game has ever done was kept the commitment to the one guy who pre ordered it back in 1997 with the receipt and all that. And it's like, you're still getting the game at this price that you paid for, not inflating it or anything. That is the only positive that game has ever done.
Guarantee
Other
you
than
the
that,
guy
it
wanted
was
to
just a
sell it.
stink.
I guarantee you wanted to sell it after playing it.
Well, he was one of those like committed for the long runs too. It's like I pre-ordered it at this price. Here's the receipt, and God damn it, 3D Realms are just like okay, yeah, sure, sort of the same publicity stunt that what was it Fallout 4 Bethesda did for that of a guy saying I have all these bottle caps. Is this enough to buy the game? And they just said sure, yeah, but we're
By the
only doing
way,
it this one time.
at least they took the bottle caps, put it in like one of their Nuke Colas things, and put it in Bethesda in studios. So they actually
Actually,
have that on museum.
talking about games that are getting ruined by microtransactions. Um, think about a specific genre. What's one specific genre you think are being actually murdered by microtransactions?
Oh, strategy games.
Gotchas.
Strategy
Besides
RTS.
games. RTS and
besides
strategy
strategy.
games. Okay, those are out the table.
Besides strategies.
Mobile gotchas.
Fighting games.
Fighting games, yeah. Absolutely being fucking decimated.
Don't you want your favorite fighter to be in like 12 to 24 different fucking costumes and different color
No,
variants?
well, here's the like the weird thing is right. The funny game community and the developers are like constantly asking like, what can we do to get new blood into the environment, right? And then they're like, all right, how many variations of Street Fighter 4 are we gonna sell? How many variants of Street Fighter 5 are we gonna sell? Street Fighter 6. Like, hold on. Let me look at the total number of Street Fighter 4s there were. There was like 10 or something like that. Four. Let's see here. We had Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, Ultra Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and so four. Oh yeah, Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition, Street Fighter 4 Volt, and Street Fighter 4 Champion Edition. 7 different versions of Street Fighter 4. You can take out one of them, which was 3D version, because that was for the 3DS. That's insane for a singular Street Fighter game. Did I lose you guys?
No, I
No,
was
you're still
listening.
there.
Yeah. So like, that's insane for a single, version of a Street Fighter. Now we have Street Fighter 5, you have Street Fighter 6, like, and they're expecting to be able to pull in like new blood into the Street Fighter game, or not just Street Fighter games, but in the like fighting game community, right? And it's impossible to get like new blood into this fucking thing because they're constantly being like, all right, which version do I buy? Oh, I bought the wrong version, so I can't play online with like, you know, the 30 other people that play this fucking game because not like many people even play like fighting games anymore because they've literally shot themselves in the foot.
Well, that plus the fact that like they're coming out with them way too often, way too frequently. I mean, as you said, I don't know how many there are, but like if again, I don't want to
And it's such a high
like Call
skill
of Duty.
ceiling.
Well, like Call of Duty, I don't want to play a new Call of Duty every single bloody year. Like I don't want to
Well,
buy one every year. I don't want to do that every year. Same thing for fighting games. Like I don't want to buy.
well,
Hey,
there's such a high skill ceiling for fighting games too. It's like,
oh yeah,
let's say I'm bringing you right into the fighting game, scene. Imagine if I was still playing Killer Instinct from when we were in college to today, and I told you, hey, you want to play Killer Instinct with me? You wouldn't want to play Killer Instinct with me.
no,
You'd be like, yeah, I'm good. Like because like the skill difference is just too much. Because at that point I would have had years of experience on you.
yeah. I'm
I
not
think I
personally
think
good at remembering every single button combo imaginable in a game.
Yeah.
I think the
Um,
one win I got in Killer Instinct against you was a pity win.
yeah. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Like,
I've
well,
only ever
Kofa,
won one time against you, and that was at a goddamn what was it? Halo 4 tournament that we got thrown in at the last minute.
yeah, well, that was like an FPS game. It wasn't even a fighting game.
Yeah, fighting games. I was like, no, I had to deal with you and had to deal with the other roommate. And it's like, yeah, I'm number 1 in the number 4 in the state. No, I'm not.
I'm
Yeah,
You
good.
take this too serious.
and then
No, he never.
like it was a
To his thing, he never took it serious unless you butt mashed to
yeah,
get him, and then started
well, like,
bragging about it. Then
Well,
he got
no, he
pissed.
didn't care about that. It was if he started talking crap to him, and he's like, all right, yeah, and me and Roger would just be like, all right, he's gonna win this thing. Let's just watch and have fun.
but like there was a huge jump in skill level. It was like me versus like K-Man versus like our old roommate. Like the skill jump was insane. Like
What?
I knew what I was doing, but he knew what he was doing.
Well, he just juggled you in the air. And again, as you stated, it's like, again, the skill gap is insane. He hits you in the air, just put the controller down. You're done playing.
But like, yeah, it was just like put the game down. You're done.
You're done.
Like,
No, there's no way your character's going to touch the ground. And even if it does, it's only when your character's dead. Like, just put the controller down. You're done. You're done for the day.
but like I mean that's the thing. Like and so when you finally had a game that was like um willing to actually be free, be for casual gamers. It was that Warner Brothers game. I forget the. It was supposed to be
Multiverses.
yeah multiverses, right? That was supposed to be like a competitor to Super Smash Bros. It was also supposed to be like an opener for the casual community, the veteran community, to both get into the game and enjoy it. And then they decided, hey, look, um, we know we know that you guys really want to support this game. So we're really gonna make it so where you have to buy characters, and we're also gonna have the worst net code ever imagined. We're a multi-billion-dollar company, but we can't afford a good net code, and that's a fucking problem. Now I'm hoping I do have some reserves on certain companies have started to realize this, and they're starting to dip their toes into the fighting game community in order to sort of break this sort of pattern. Ironically, this is kind of strange. Riot fucking Games is jumping in on this.
That is weird.
Oh yeah, I saw that with their it was like League of Legends fighting game.
They're doing a League of Legends fighting game. Characters are free.
2D fighting game, by the way.
Yeah, it's a 2D fighting game. Characters are free, and they said, any characters in the future after the initial ones, you're going to like earn them kind of like in League of Legends. You play the game, you can earn them in game, or you can outright buy them.
Oh,
And I'm kind of like in the middle on that, but at the same time, they have to earn money somehow, right?
well, again,
But
I was thinking about the one company that actually is the oldest of them all. That's been free to play for the longest fucking time, and y'all love it. I mean, which is Dota. I just
Dota.
thought about that one.
Yeah.
I completely
And,
forgot
and
about them.
well, in an aspect like that, that's why I always say Dota is better than League of Legends and Valorant and all that stuff, because Dota is just a simple mindset of all your characters are going to be free. You just pay for the cosmetic and stuff. Back whenever, when the internationals made headlines for constantly breaking, how much your number one player, like your first place team is going to make and all that, majority of that was funded by the community. Somewhat going back into the microtransaction thing, there was year to year, you would always have this one guy. Of course, it was a Saudi prince, but he would be like, "Oh, international compendium. You can gain levels by playing games, or you can buy into it to unlock levels." He would always be at what was it, level 10,000 or something within the first week because he just dumped a whole bunch of money into it. And this
That's
isn't cheap,
crazy.
like $1 level too. It was a good chunk of change to get those levels. Like, because what was it to get? Technically, if you wanted to buy to get to level 100, it was like $200 ish.
God bless, that's too much money.
Well, that's why I said it's one of those things of you play the game, you get points, and you can unlock levels because they also have
I
they
just want to
set up
know
like
what their
challenge.
debt is. Like, how much debt are these people in?
Well, again, Saudi prince.
No, you know
Saudi
what?
Prince.
That's fair. Never
None.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, never mind.
I
None.
think
They don't know what debt
I
is.
think I think he was also the one that was included recently in buying a game company or something.
Oh yeah,
I
they
remember
bought
that
EA.
happening recently. Yeah, it's the same guy that was involved in that.
Yeah, they bought EA, which is funny to me because it's like, I wonder what EA is going to do right now.
But it's just a simple aspect like that. Again, all you're buying is cosmetics. Granted, for any Valve game, majority of the money always comes through the marketplace for them. Until they just had enough of people scalping stuff, and then you get a CS2 situation of, hey guys, you can now trade in 5 items of one tier to upgrade it to the next tier and
I
fucking
love
take their market by billions of dollars.
I love Steam for this. Like they were like, hey, look, we know there's a corrupt like real world cash value with our knife skins. So here's how we're gonna fucking deal with it. You can trade up to those really rare knife skins. By the way, us doing this is going to tank the trade community by $2 billion. Fuck you.
Wow.
Because people could finally get the expensive knives that they wanted, so you essentially flood the market, and obviously people get pissed off at
Wow.
it, like the
So,
sort of
so,
the free to play people not spending too much money. They were excited.
they ruined the real world trade
The,
it like
the money
real world
laundering
trade
scalpers.
and the money launderings and scalpers they like ruined them like so I saw oh god it was on TikTok, it was the funniest shit. This dude had like $1 million worth of knives overnight. Over fucking night that $1 million went down to like 20,000.
Yep.
Oh, oh, damn, that sucks. Not really, but that's just funny to me.
No, like fuck them.
Yeah,
Fuck
no,
them.
I was like,
Like
I say
seriously.
it sucks. No, it's these people. No, they don't deserve that. They get screwed.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's
actually,
an
funny about
investment.
those, because we speaking of like League of Legends though, I mentioned this to Roderick because I found out about this last week. But I like apparently League of Legends also like recently just released like a freaking trading card game like a month
Yeah,
ago.
it's not surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they have a bunch of characters. They might as well try to do something with them, get some money
like
off of it.
something I've started to realize is like there's a lot of these like bigger game companies that have started to like go into like trading cards and going into like trading cards is another thing that we can talk about some other time because like honestly like I find the prices of some cards ridiculous and it has to do with scalping and we can like I said we can talk about that some other time
Oh
because
yeah,
like
Oh
that's
yeah.
just a whole can of worms
that
that
really
I
is.
don't
But
really
yeah,
want.
I don't mind
I
getting
don't
into
really,
that
really
then.
get it. I really don't want to get into that today.
No, no, guys. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a
god.
mixture of scalping and this card does this unique thing in battle that's highly sought after, and it's just how the hell is something like this worth up to $1,000? I don't care
Mm,
about like you can't explain it as it's a nostalgia thing too. It's like no, there. How the hell is this worth so much money?
Black
Oh yeah.
Lotus.
I'm about to
Black
say
Lotus.
Black
Oh
What is
Lotus
yeah.
your
and the
The hand
Lord of the
traps in
Rings
Yu-Gi-Oh.
and the
The
Lord
One
of the Rings
Ring.
One Ring. That's worth
mm,
so fucking much
PSA?
money.
Hold on, let me go on eBay right now. PSA 10 Black Lotus $250,000.
Oh,
PSA
Yeah.
9 Black Lotus $19,106.
Holy crap! It's a sale.
What's a PSA 1?
PSA 8 signed by one of the original creators 8.5 $250,000.
Well, what's the value of one that got like a bite mark on it?
What
oh,
do you
here you
have one
go,
that has
Roger.
five
Nah,
mark on it?
Roger, you pocket
No.
change. Your pocket change. An Alpha Black Lotus graded by CGC cards just fetched a jaw-dropping $3 million, the highest
It was
priced Magic card.
probably a PSA 10, man. It had to be like PSA 10 pristine, like
Three
God,
million dollars for a card.
yeah, yeah, dude.
That's
Some
crazy.
people probably turn into a necklace.
Like I said, dude. Like, I mean, think about it this way. Like that was when Magic the Gathering first came out, right?
No, no.
And it's so popular.
Could you imagine buying that card in front of everybody, like on camera, and then just ripping it in half and walking away?
Jesus.
Could you
Well, it's just
imagine
like
people?
I feel like someone would, freaking I feel like that'd be the fastest way to get someone at your house.
Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
you
if
would
I had
have
the
to
money,
get
I would do that.
security to get back to you. See, Sanity would have to get security to get back to his house. Somebody would
If
show
I
up.
had the money, I would already have security. If I had the money to do that, it's just like, God, what was it? It
no,
was either one of
no,
the new
no.
iPhones or like one of the new game consoles. One of the first people bought it and then just threw it on the ground.
No, if I had the money of a Saudi prince, I'd buy like a PSA 9 like Black Lotus and just eat it. Like I'd just eat it on stream and just be like, "Yup, how do you feel?"
I hate him. $3 million. I feel good.
That was a delicious $3 million meal right there, boy.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of fiber.
Yeah.
Put some
I'm gonna
God.
be
steak
regretting.
sauce
I'm
on it.
gonna be regretting this in a few hours, but that's fine.
Taking a $20,000 dump.
But I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous that like the cards like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like I am happy that the in the community and there's some companies that are still out there that are willing to do the right thing for gamers.
Well, it's as someone
Um,
said, I think it was Fingar or somebody. It's just passion projects. It's passion projects and passion versus just completely and utterly greed and everything about
Yeah, like
money.
just a cash grab
I mean,
versus a passion project.
yeah, because again, the biggest thing is like, all right, well, we could put our time to make a really good Call of Duty that everybody's going to like and get back to the basics and put in a bunch of time and effort into this, or we could release the crap that's now getting shit on by the whole gaming community as one of the worst final bosses and thing ever. Which again, always got me confused. It's like, when does Call of Duty have a final boss? Like that's you just lost your area because you're now chasing money instead of actually caring about your game. Insert this to almost any other game imaginable: Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, um, any of the gotcha games that are slowly dying because again they don't have a fan base anymore because they can't afford anything. I think one of the other things that drove me up a wall is it was such a cool game. It was Dynasty Warriors MMO that they released, um, and you could
Mhm.
have like 6 bodyguards around you. You would actually go together with your guild, and you would be able to take other guild strongholds. And if your guild captured it and you had enough players, everything that was now your stronghold, your city. You could build it up, do everything. I mean, again, it was a fun, really cool fucking game, and they just no longer cared about it. And this dude ended up sinking, I mean, I don't know how much thousands of dollars, but I stopped playing it immediately after because one guy that, and we're all max level by the way, so this one player ended up wiping my entire guild of like
Hold
50
on.
something
I see a
people and just
I see
killed.
I see a witch doctor duck. Can you put my name on that one?
That one? The plague doctor or the witch doctor?
The plague doctor.
Yeah, I got you. But like,
Yeah.
it's just it's crazy at people who want to actually go ahead and spend all this money on everything.
For a lot of that, unfortunately, like what's happening with Call of Duty right now, what's happening with several other games that are doing these crossover events with popular IP to throw them in. In that
Yeah.
aspect, I Fortnite is the biggest blame out of all this because everyone wants to be essentially everyone wants the Fortnite money. For God's sakes, their recent season or whatnot, throwing in the lady from Kill Bill
Yeah.
somehow.
Uh,
Like you're getting all these IPs just thrown in there, and people, kids are just going to still be spending money on it, and it's just,
it's because the
I guess,
kids are playing it. It's really popular now, and everybody's like, well, that must be the pinnacle of all games because it's number one. No, it's number one because it just happens to be fun and the new generation. I was going to say young generation. The new generation, that's their playing. That's their Halo or the Modern Warfare. You know, those two, that's their versions of that, which is perfectly fine. I don't play it, don't really enjoy it, but I'm not going to bash it because, again, that's what they want to play. Not every single game imaginable needs to go ahead and be just like Fortnite because it doesn't work. I mean, again, Battlefield 6, like, we're going to go right back to the very, very basics of the game and do pretty much a heavy relaunch. And they did phenomenal at it. I wish they'd stop listening to streamers, but oh well.
all streamers who's going to spend for any game like that. Destiny 2 is included. The streamers, your hardcore, the people that are spending all the money, buying all the DLCs, buying all the stuff in Eververse with the in-game currency. They're going to listen to those people more than the free to play people because, well, you want to appeal to everyone, but you want to appeal more to the people who's going to spend money that
Yeah.
will turn
Well,
around and pay your paycheck.
Well, the
I
problem.
think
Oh, good.
streamers are part of like the problem in the long term.
That's
Um,
Yes,
that's
because
what I
they
was
will
about to
complain
say.
about all the microtransactions, but will still pay into the microtransactions.
Well, I was gonna say the
Harping on Destiny 2, that is the biggest fucking problem going on, which is also why you've had for the past 10 years, going all the way back to Destiny 1, of, oh, this game is going to crash and all the yada, yada, yada. As the old adage goes, no one hates Destiny more than a Destiny player.
yeah.
Always works, always that, but streamers do not help with that, and people and content creators do not help with that because they will talk about all this stuff, they will buy all the microtransactions and stuff you have to pay for just to then make a video of, oh, this sucks, you shouldn't get this. But you're encouraging stuff like this to happen.
Well, and I was gonna say the problem that they have is like they every single game and I was watching this with Battlefield 6. Like they were complaining about this, they're complaining about the tank, they're complaining about everything because it's not fast paced. It's not like then go back to playing COD. Like that's the game that you want to play it. But not every single bloody game needs to be just like COD, where it's a fast-paced single shoot stuff like that. That's not how this works, and that's the thing that
That's
always
why
drove me up a wall.
I think Halo went down the shit.
It did because
Honestly,
they said, well, we're not going to be playing for fun anymore. We're competitive. We're only going to listen to the streamers. Streamers only play the most popular game. That is it. So don't listen to them because they're not really there to actually get you a lot of people. They're just going to play whatever's the most popular game. If your game has a bunch of people playing it, they're going to play it. That's just how this works. And it kills me because again, that Halo went downhill fast because they decided to go to competitive, going just like COD. And it's like that's not going to work.
Well, yeah, but that's what happens whenever
No,
it
Tippus.
went from
They're all different.
Bungie to 343 games, and you can even tell it was starting to show in Halo 4, Halo 5, all that stuff of, all right, what's going to be your main focus story wise and all this. Yeah, the story's fine, but did you see the multiplayer? You know, look, we have this gun skin that has pizza all over it. You can put on a gun. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you pushing more to an esports aspect for Halo instead of what their old philosophy was of, is a map fun to play on? Yes,
But
fantastic. You made a good map. Is it not fun to play on? Restart the whole thing.
is the map fun or are the weapons fun? If the map is not fun and the weapons are not fun, then it's not. Like if you listen to the video that you showed me, towards the end of Halo 3 and definitely in Halo Reach, like we're not really enjoying this anymore because it's no longer like the passions dry it out. We want to do something new because it's just, again they're getting bored of the game. Like they were talking about the Miso silo in Halo 3, which was so much fun playing with. We were trying to figure out how to nerf it and what we wanted to do with it. At the end of the day, we decided to have fun. Now, if you brought that in today, it'd be microtransactions where you'd have to buy this pack just to be able to get to the missile silo or the mech or anything like that. If they did that
Or
today, and
even
we're
just the
like EA.
concept from, yeah, Halo 3, one of the desert maps. God, what was it called? The Elephant? The
Oh
massive
God,
vehicle that you can
yes.
drive? Just for the simple concept of it has no tactical advantage, in all honesty, but the whole goal wasn't to try to give it a tactical advantage. It was, I want to flip this thing.
Yeah, you would literally just
That
drive
is
it and
the
try to
only
flip it
purpose.
over and then be confused because I know everybody did this because I definitely did this and I know everybody did it. Oh, I flipped it upside down, runs up to it, literally pops up, flip the elephant back. Wait, Master Chief can just flip the elephant over? I
Well,
need to see this.
it wasn't just that. It was, every vehicle, oh, press X to flip. Get up to the elephant. It's like, press X. Wait a minute. How did you do this?
I'm just picturing Master Chief just out there squatting and just like lifts this thing up and flips it back on over. Oops, sorry, girl. I didn't see behind me.
And it's just little things like that from old games, but that comes unfortunately of whenever a franchise keeps going and going, they want to change things up. They want to find new ways of bringing in new people, but also we want to make this
Yes.
sustainable. People spend money, and you sort of lose how to do stuff like that. One of a basically a good example of this is Metal Gear Solid 5. However you feel about like the controversy behind with Kojima and Konami and all that stuff, that game was really fun to play. But unfortunately, because it was a single player experience, and you can argue if it really had microtransactions in it or not, to an extent yes, to an extent no, but the parent company saw that, all right, we're putting all this money into a new engine, we're putting all this money into Kojima making this game that everyone is going to expect and going to buy the shit out of. we have this department over here that makes pachinko machines and for gambling centers that we're making like millions of dollars every single day. The single player game or gambling, which caused another rift in the community of, after the controversy of Metal Gear Solid 5, it was we're going to remaster, what was it? Was it Metal Gear Solid 3 they first announced remaster, but then it was for a pachinko machine for the
Uh,
Fox engine?
I knew they were doing a, but no, it was a five. It was Metal Gear Solid 5, but it was the God.
I could have
But
swore it was one of their older games. Like after Kojima left, Konami announced, "Hey, we're gonna remaster one of the original Metal Gear Solid games," and people was like, "All right, on the Fox
yeah,
end, looks fantastic." For our pachinko machine, it's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
it was gonna be Metal Gear Solid 2.
That's what it was. Because gambling, you get a lot more money because people are just in there spending
Yeah.
pennies on the dollar type stuff. But even that caused. And at the end of the day, that's sort of what a lot of companies are looking at, which is why you're getting more and more of a push for microtransactions because you can either make a gaming experience that people love and enjoy, come back from time to time to play, or we can sort of give them a little nudge more and more to spend money to get in-game currency to get a thing that they might like or whatnot. A little nudge here and there instead of doing the smart thing, which big thing that Digital Extreme did whenever they first implemented actually having a loot box system and immediately canceled it because they saw, oh shit, this guy is obsessively buying these loot boxes to get I think it was a color scheme for one of his pets. So they compensated, like they refunded the guy back everything. They didn't take any of the items back and they just said, we are not doing that again. That gets way too obsessive. Now, if only there was more companies like that. Seth might know more than I do on that. But that was probably one of the few companies that try to implement a gambling system like that just to go, oh shit,
Seth says
let's
not
not
even a
do this.
loot box, just a button to re-roll the color scheme on a pet.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's still gambling and whatnot, but it was just, oh shit, this guy is spending way too much money on this simple thing. Let's just not do this anymore.
Talking about the worst implementation um of microtransactions. Um, and it obviously got a lot of flack. It still deserves the flack that it earned. Um, was um Diablo Immortals.
Yes. Oh my God, did they destroy a game? I remember that one.
Do you guys
Like
not have a smartphone?
it
Oh
started with
my
that, right?
God.
It started with that, and like a lot of like honestly, I personally believe that was the point in which people opened their eyes about Blizzard. Um, and just how terrible of a company they are.
I,
Um,
I can't.
like for some reason, like people had this blind sort of following to Blizzard, and I don't blame them because I grew up on Blizzard games. Like you had Warhammer or yeah, um, you had StarCraft. You had the starting of Dota started in a Warhammer game
A Warcraft.
or Warcraft. Yeah, sorry.
What was a Warcraft 3 mod
Yeah,
for it that got really popular?
and you had StarCraft 1, you had StarCraft 2, you had World of Warcraft, and you had Diablo, 1, 2, and then eventually 3 and 4. But 4, ugh, and even 3 was a joke. Even
Yeah.
even Diablo 3 was a joke. Um, because like you could spend in real, or like real world money for that game. um, to get yourself a boost. Um, People don't remember that because it was quickly removed after like 2 months. But you could spend in real life money to better yourself in that game. Um, and honestly, I like realistically once we had the don't doesn't everyone have a phone? You
Oh
know,
my God.
like once that came to fruition, I really believe that's when everyone was just like, um, yeah, exactly, Seth, the original D3 marketplace. Um, but like that's really when people started to sort of see Blizzard for what they were. And I mean, so realistically, microtransactions started as the armor for for a certain game.
Hmm.
Um, but like Blizzard started like implementing that like constantly. Like, here's a mount that you can buy for $20. Isn't this a cool mount? It's $20. Oh, here's some skins for $20. Um, oh,
Here's a horse armor.
you need in-game money. Oh, don't worry, you can buy that. Um, someone can you can buy time for the game, and people can buy that from you in game for $20. And then Diablo Immortals came out, and they were like, "Hey, look, you want to upgrade your armor, right? Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a like less than 1% chance of you upgrading this armor. Okay, but if you spend money, you'll have a higher chance, and you get more chances." And I forget the dude, but he spent like $3 million
Jeez.
in the game. He spent like $3 million in the game, and he was so strong, because you could pay money to be to have stronger armor, and so it was literally pay to win. But the problem was that he had paid so much money to be strong, that he had no like when you queued for when he queued for PvP, he had no one to compete against. So he had gotten to the point to where he was so strong he couldn't play against anyone anymore.
I know. Again, it goes. I was while I was listening, I just thought about one of the other game companies out there that actually is arguably and has the title of the most played, most bought game. So technically, the most bought game in the history of the world, and arguably one of the largest games that was ever created. Not largest in terms of like large, but largest in terms of people play, people love, people talk about everything else. And they actually don't do anything scummy whatsoever, and they keep giving free DLC all the time and do free updates still. And this game has been out for 20 years. Y'all want to take a guess at what it is? Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft is
Well,
one of the largest games created in terms of most copies sold, most pretty much everything there. Once you buy
I
it,
believe
you
they
don't buy anything else unless you want to
I
do their
believe they
marketplace.
increased the yeah, I believe they increased the price of the game recently.
I'm fine with
Just
them
because
increasing the
I
price.
think it was just because they could.
Yeah,
It wasn't because of like market values. It was just because they could. Which is why a lot of people were frustrated. Um,
I don't know. I
but
just
it's
know
like, bro, that game's been out for quite a while at this point. But like, um,
oh yeah, it's thirty
yeah,
dollars. So
yeah,
they bumped it up by I think I paid. I mean when I
mm,
can't say anything when I bought it, it was like $10.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like triple the price at this point
Yeah,
from
but I
when
mean
we first
I
bought
bought
them.
it in 2002, 2000 not 2002, 2006 when was in alpha. I remember buying it then.
Yeah, but like realistically, it's they've updated the game, but they haven't like super updated it. Let's be honest here. And I I feel like the only reason well, okay, talking scummy on Microsoft less than Minecraft, right? The Xbox Game Pass price changes.
Oh yeah, yeah, that does change.
Um, yeah, and you are right. It's just like they have so many mods in the game that like does it really matter what they update in the actual main game at this point?
My only problem with that is that's Minecraft on PC. You can have mods. Minecraft on console, you are heavily
So
restricted.
I looked
You
into
you
that.
can
I looked into that because I was really curious as to why it came down to when because again Minecraft is 20 years old. We're 20 years old at this point in time. So they had to create two versions of Minecraft. You had the Java edition, which was a computer. Then you have your Xbox like 360 version of the game, um, which was Bedrock. I think Bedrock's the one. And
Yeah,
so they couldn't really add in any mods and whatnot, and they built up everything. So they even stated like do we can't make Bedrock into Java, which is what we would love to do, because if we did that, all your worlds would then become void. You couldn't there's no way to save your world and do anything. So you have some people who like playing this game for so long would just lose their worlds and not be able to do anything. And a lot of them are like very, very sentimental. And so what they did is they introduced the marketplace, and they now I will say for on their behalf, yes, you can pay for the mods. You can buy the mods, but they also give you a lot of them for free. Like whenever I played it, and I'll still play it every now and then, they easily just do that. I
yeah.
don't know.
Because
That's the
I
first.
guarantee
Oh, go ahead.
I guarantee for a situation like that, you'll just run into what Bethesda did with Fallout 4 on console of, yeah, you can add mods onto your game, guys, but you only have this limited amount of space.
yeah.
I know
And
what
you
they do
can't
now
really
is
know if mods are compatible anymore unless you play the game and it just crashes and then you got to figure it out.
yeah, that's
Whereas,
what I was gonna say. The problem is that you have no idea some of these mods will like fight each other or not, because you had that on PC where they like this works for this mod but doesn't work for this mod.
yes.
And again, for Tempest, I really don't know why they don't just be like, you can switch to Bedrock or Java. That part I don't know. I feel like they could do
It's
that, but I
because
just
it
don't know.
cost them money.
Yeah, but so it probably cost them a lot of money to open up
No,
or move
not
everything
even
over.
not even a lot of money. It's just because it cost them money.
Yeah.
Like realistically, like we have to look at Microsoft right now, right? Like they've made some good decisions, right? People were starting to finally like Microsoft, and they were like, "Oh, we can't have that. You can't like us." So we're going to release, some issue childs, which include like um the issue with the marketplace. We're going to increase the price of the marketplace to where like you feel like it might not be worth um
Oh, I'll help you out. The new Xbox, they increased the price to the point where you're pretty much paying for a computer. So you could either buy a computer or you could buy the new Xbox. Take your pick. And
they
that's the thing that
increased
makes
the
me mad.
price not only once for the Xbox, they increased it twice in the same year.
Because, yeah,
Again, and
why the fuck not?
again, and that's what this thing is. Again, I can't defend Microsoft. I was going for Minecraft. I won't defend Microsoft.
What?
I like them.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I do generally enjoy Microsoft, but I feel like it's kind of they have bad stuff. They have more good stuff than they do bad stuff, but they
they
are a
like
pain
like
sometimes.
like when they finally decided, hey, we're going to be a good company, everyone's just like, oh, cool. And then for some questionable reason, they decided we don't like this good press. Like,
You're not wrong.
like questionably like odd decisions there, because like they absolutely had a fair time on getting the community to want to support them over PlayStation. They were like, "Hey, look, we're gonna release games. You can get them on PlayStation. You can get them on Steam. You can get them on Xbox. No console exclusivity." And we were like, "All right, that sounds good. All right, Microsoft, you guys are doing great." Yeah. We're gonna increase a lot of different prices though. Oh God.
Like Xbox Game Pass. Got
Yeah, I was gonna
bumped
say
up.
like Xbox Game Pass like got increased twice. The console prices increased twice. Like for a company that really wants us to play their games, they're making it really hard to want to play their games.
Yeah, not wrong.
But
Because they're
guys, it includes the PC Game Pass too.
because at a certain point
Yeah.
no it doesn't, because they're separating the two. Like that's part of the problem. um absolutely makes me livid, and like on one side, like I look at that and I'm like, well, there goes the future of video games. But at the same time, like I said, I'm seeing games like Digital Extreme, or companies like Digital Extreme, Larian Studios. You have a lot of these like companies that are like, we don't like how gamers are being treated, so we're going to make an effort to make a
Well,
change.
I'll say it's the difference between it's effectively just boils down. If you take the company, boil it down, you have two aspects to a company. Is the company private or does the company have shareholders? If the company
Yeah.
has shareholders, then they don't care about you. They care about the shareholders. If the company is mostly private or just a handful of people, and I do mean handful, like 5 or 6 people, then they're going to
Yeah.
more or less worry about trying to make as much good as they can because that'll generate enough money and they'll be relatively happy. Microsoft has shareholders they have to answer to, so they're going to try to squeeze as much money as they can to get back to the shareholders versus Lauren Studio that's privately owned. I think one dude owns it or he owns a majority share of it, which is the
Yeah.
guy that walked out with like armor, like actual knight armor, and his favorite character in D&D was, I believe, a dragonborn cleric is his favorite character. So it's like, yeah, no, as kind of piggyback. I said, yeah, no wonder they're actually going to do really, really well. Guy actually cares versus the Microsoft CEO is like, I need to make sure these shareholders are all nice and happy, and because I also own a massive amount of shares into the company, so I'm going to make sure I make money off of this. So it's like,
Yeah.
and it's annoying because if you just made a good game, people would like you.
Yeah.
Looking at you,
Well,
Microsoft,
like,
that just released a Star thing, even
and
though,
then I'm looking at
yeah.
like MMORPGs, right? Um, I can't at this point. I can't tell if I really want to spend money for a like subscription for MMOs anymore, because like Blue Protocol, where Winds Meet, right? They're basing their entire like model off of you buying aesthetics instead of charging you a subscription, right?
Oh yeah.
And both of those are pretty good games. Like they come with their flaws, obviously, but like what game doesn't these days? But because like if you look at like where Winds Meet, right? They have technically loot boxes, and but like you don't need it. So it's one of those like I like it for everything else that they've included. But then you have these loot boxes on the side, and I'm like, bro, it's not exactly a loot box, but it actually it 100% is. It's part of like that gotcha system.
Hmm.
And I don't, you'll come down to especially with gotchas, you'll have people who have really good luck, can play the game for free, and can get like the cool things. Like I'm looking at Lullaby right now, you know. She
Good
doesn't pay
luck.
for, she doesn't pay for, and I'll specifically mention Star Rail here. She hasn't really put any money in it other than like the battle pass because she actually likes it. And she wanted some cool things out of it, and she used to do that just to support the game. And then I played the game for like a year at this point, right? And then they're like, all right, well, your chances of getting the characters are, you know, once you've done 70 pulls, you can finally get the character because that we have a pity system. And so she'll do pulls, and it'll be like, all right, I've done 20 pulls, I got the character, cool, and she'll move on. And then I'll do 70 pulls, and they're like, all right, the pity system kicks in. Now there's a 50-50 chance of you getting the character you want, or one of these, roster of other characters. I'll lose the 50-50 after losing the all 70 pulls to the to the system, and then I'll have to do another 70 pulls just to get the character I wanted.
I love how everybody was like, Dez with the freaking fish, cough, cough, caveman.
Oh yeah, God, dude, he was insane. It was like I was with the like first 10 pull, and he's just like, oh, I got the mount, brother. What like? Like that's insane. Like so like you have people and it's the same thing in Star Rail. Like he plays that game as well. He does pulls in that game. He gets characters extremely quickly. He does pay money into it. Um but he's not like avidly playing constantly. He's just like, yeah, I want this character, and he'll just drop like $30-$40 and get the character. Maybe it's because he puts money in the game that he gets an advantage or something.
It's all
Maybe.
just gambling.
Yeah,
It's not just me. Half the time it's luck. Other times it's just, I didn't get the character. And then you have other people like Dez who just, oh, I like this character E6. Jesus fucking Christ, how much money did you
yeah,
spend?
right. But I mean, in general, it's just because he like supports the game and likes the game, and I like the idea of being able to support the developer if you feel like the product is worth the money. But I really do want to draw the line and at the gotcha system. Like I'm tired of people sort of pussyfooting around and being like, it's definitely not. It's definitely not gambling, guys. It's like, bro, it's 100% gambling. Everyone knows it's gambling. We're not gonna, we're not gonna say it's not gambling.
Tippett
Um,
says I have one E6 character, mind you. I spent a year saving for her and dropped like 250 into it.
yeah,
Yeah, he can say that and still threaten me every time I say, hey, I got lucky.
yeah.
The
I
bastard.
Yeah, well, like there like I said, there's some people that are lucky and there's some people that aren't. But like I seriously believe that um yeah like I feel like unless it's aesthetics, you shouldn't be able to go into like a gotcha system.
No, I don't like the gotcha
Um,
system.
Yeah. Oh, well, kind of like with like doing Night Abyss. It's technically a gotcha still, but it's only cosmetics. But it's
yeah,
like the
it-
anime
well,
Warframe game.
and specifically if it was cosmetics and nothing else.
Yeah, no, it's purely just cosmetics. Like you can't pull for characters in that game.
Yeah, like I feel like that's the fundamental flaw of certain like gotcha games. Like this, the reason why like where wins meets gets a pass for me is because it's like aesthetics.
Yeah, it's 100% aesthetics.
Um,
The only there's nothing in the game that again that's why I don't mind it per se. I don't like the gotcha system to begin with. I mean that I'll be honest with you. But I don't particularly mind games that do quality of life or cosmetics. And when I say quality of life, I mean like things that you could still do for free or you could pay uh to make it a little bit more easier on you because if you don't have a ton of time, which again I'm perfectly fine with, as long as they don't overly abuse it and it turns into pay to win. Pay
Yeah.
to win,
Where
I don't enjoy.
a gotcha that I play just because I can play it while I'm at work, um, is Ethereal Restart. Um, One of the biggest fundamental flaws that game has is there are 2 to 3 characters that you can pull for. One of them you effectively need to beat the rest of the game. And that's a fundamental flaw I find with like they don't say like you don't really need it like but like that's on the surface on like underneath the hood like I looked at the statistics and looked at the probability of like how easier does the game get once you get this one character, and it was significant. Like people were saying, because I finally got the character for free because they did a 1 year anniversary thing.
What are you talking about, Lily?
Yeah. Um, so you can beat the game without this character, but with the character you needed a lot less resources, you needed a lot less like specific characters to sort of build around. And realistically it's problematic that they're like, yeah, the entire gameplay around for the game, including PvP, is based around this one character. If you don't have her, especially in PvP, you're behind everyone else.
Yeah, again, I couldn't play those games
That's
because
such a problem. It's such a problem. And it's just like the only reason I'm still playing the game is because they gave that character for free.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a big issue I have with any sort of microtransaction. If it becomes a game changer or game breaking like that,
which is
Yeah.
majority of
that's
the
when I've.
microtransactions out there. Again, I go back to
Yeah, but
no, so
no, go on.
as far as I go back, as I went back to like strategy games and mobile and strategy games in a
Yeah.
nutshell, it always turns into pay this money to unlock this specific item, which will then boost you up and allow for you to go ahead and strike and fight other people. It's like, okay, I don't really want to do that. Well, you're going to lose no matter what you do, unless you just no life this, and then you
Yeah.
still have a chance to possibly win the game. But that's about it. I mean, like
Well,
I think me and Luna were playing Ark, or it's like an Ark game on mobile, and I had to pretty much no Evon's well it was Ark and then it was Evon 6. Like Evon 6, it was a beautiful game, but I had to stay on my phone all the time just to be able to get caught up and catch up with other people who were actively dumping money into the game. And it's
yeah.
just it's not fun. Like I don't want to have my phone on me all the time to play a strategy game. But if I don't do that, then I have to go ahead and start dumping in $20 to $30. And it's like, okay, well the server's really only going to last probably 2 months, and then whatever money you just put into the game, it's over. You won't really be able to use that on anything else. Like this whole system is stupid.
Well, I think like mobile games are the like most at risk. I'm doing quotation marks here, for microtransactions.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
I actually just refuse to play mobile games anymore because every single one that I had ever picked up required some sort of transaction in some way to give you some sort of advantage over other players, and it's incredibly predatory. It's so like predatory that I'm just so lost how how we've not had a single form of like legislation to like address this.
The only one that I've been
Because
picking back up is I got back into Clash of Clans. That was it.
yeah, Well, even like Clash of Clans, right? Like that's super predatory.
Not
Um,
anymore. I
yeah,
will argue, not anymore. They were. I will say, I will 100% agree with you. They were. Now,
yeah.
okay, well, I can't say it. They still are, but because they now got rid of their stuff where now you have the season pass every single month. So they are they do have the predatory aspects. You don't have to put any money into it to actually be able to do anything. But they always do have that aspect. So and they used to be, Clash of Clans used to be where you would have to spend money to go ahead and start speeding up your town halls because again, they got ridiculously expensive and stuff like that. But now it's easy to go ahead and get all that to upgrade and level up and everything, get enough resources and all that. But they are still predatory in their battle pass. Now I will agree with you on that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, no matter what mobile game you pick up, whether it be Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, um, because I believe they're owned by Tencent.
Yep.
And then, like Tencent's just an absolute like problem company when it comes to like microtransactions. And I feel like most other mobile companies or mobile game companies base their entire sort of earning like model after those games.
Oh, they do.
Um,
They know that they can again. They launch not Clash of Clans, but a lot of times they'll launch this game. Again, it's just a rip off of all the other games that they always have. They're all the same.
yeah,
Open world map, build your own base, try to squeeze as much money out as you can. About a year later, they close down the game. They go ahead and implement the new game. Same dynamic, nothing new,
it's
and kind
just
of goes from there.
yeah, just rug pulls and like time crunches.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I can't agree with like that kind of model anymore. That's why like if like anytime I go into like a game that has a model similar to that at this point, I don't even like bat an eye anymore. Like that's why I just don't play mobile games anymore.
No, I
I'm like
don't.
I'd rather just be on YouTube on my phone at this point.
I'm the
I'd rather
same
read a
way.
book.
Like I said, I play Clash, but I've switched to where I
Yeah,
started using YouTube more because I mean I'll still play Clash. It's that's the
yeah,
thing. But I gave up on trying to find a really fun RTS game that you could build a base up and attack and do actually strategy. Because none of
no,
them have strategy anymore. It's not strategy. It's
no.
it's it's all it is can I how much money did I put to get my better troops so then I could win you. So again, and that's the most boring aspect of it.
Like, how much money did I sink into this game rather than the other person? And
It's a battle of the wall, and I can't win that.
yeah, and yeah, so like realistically, to the point of the conversation is like microtransactions have absolutely garbaged like genres. Like it's insane. Like entire genres have just been like thrown to the trash because of like companies that have just picked up like certain games. Like there's not an RTS out there that we can consider good. Like StarCraft 3 or StarCraft 2 technically like you could say is like quote good, but it's Blizzard and so it's not actually fun. Um that's the only one that like you can do strategy and not because like you can't really pay for it.
So I will say the only strategy
But
game
it's
right
so
now,
outdated.
well, the only strategy game right now that's getting really, really good amount of attention, um, and it's on Steam. It's Manor Lord, Lord of Manor Lord. There it is.
Mana Lords.
Yeah. Now that one's getting a lot of attention. It's one dude who's making the game, and he's actually doing a really good job on it.
Yeah.
Mainly because he's an indie and he actually has a passion project, which is what we went over at the beginning of this. It's amazing what happened with someone who actually cares about is trying to do, and that's why his strategy game is beating out um, so many other ones right now, and actually is taking awards and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which is good for him. Seth says Fire Emblem Heroes is another one.
Yeah.
But like again, it's just usually what happens, or what's going to happen is these companies are going to keep messing up. As I think, as you stated, Rodri, they're going to keep messing up, keep getting really bad, and then the indie company's going to come up and then pretty much just make something better and just kill off all the other ones.
Well, like for a long time, people thought that the like turn-based RPG games were like completely going out the door, right? And what's been the most popular game pretty much 2 years in a row? Last year it was Baldur's Gate 3,
Yeah.
right? Turn-based RPG. This year, Clay Obscure 33.
Literal
Turn-based RPG.
Huh.
turn-based
Yeah.
combat too.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
With a fresh start, right? But like and it comes down to like cool, we're getting genres coming back into the mix. I'm excited about that. I love that. And I'm hoping one day RTS and fighting games will get their sort of their limelight, but unfortunately I really think they just have to die
They do. No, they.
yeah.
before I feel like they officially have to just die out, and then some random indie company or some company with a passion is going to come in and be like, we love this game growing up, or this genre growing up, let's fix it. Like, be honest here, like Command and Conquer was such a
No,
hit
actually,
game.
I'll tell you one thing that really made a
Ugh.
letdown that I was really disappointed for, and
Mhm.
I got really excited for. Back to the RTS, Age of Empires, and I saw that they had
Yeah.
an on a mobile one, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And so I logged in on it, and it was me and Luna started playing it. We got excited for it, and then as we then as it got more and more clear, it's like, oh, this is just turning into the tier soldiers and all this other crap, and it's like, oh, cool. So they took a beloved genre that was actually really freaking fun and turned it into the mobile strategy, crap to make as much money as they can. Thanks, Microsoft.
Mhm.
What, you didn't enjoy the aspect of when you finally got to your base and you unlock Cleopatra, you get a pop-up saying, "Hey, give us $30 to improve your Cleopatra." You didn't
I
like that part?
No, I was so disappointed with that.
You didn't like the part where they
Oh.
said, "Hey, you're having fun, give us money."
Yeah, I know. I was like, all right, well, I'm done. I can't remember. I played it for a while, trying, just forcing myself to try to like it. Finally, I just uninstalled and be like, I'm just done. I'm done. I can't take this. And after that, I went back to Clash and YouTube, and then I've been
I
happy ever
mean,
since.
I've done
Mhm.
that with a good handful of games of, all right, this looks interesting, and then it's just, all right, this is just bogging down in the crap at this point. There's no investment for me anymore into this. I'm just gonna walk away
You log
before it
on
gets.
and you have so many pop-ups yelling at you. It's like, spend money, give us your money.
Legitimately, that's what it feels like for a lot of those games now. That you either log on and it's just like, you know, in like just microtransaction. Oh, you've been gone for a long time. Welcome back pack. Here's a welcome back pack that will help you for $20.
I
And
remember
it's
I
like,
did that with I think it was Age of Empires or another one. And I finally yelled at the thing like, I just want to play the damn game. Quit with the pop-ups. And Luda came in. Are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to play the freaking game. I can't even get to
no,
the
no, no, no,
game
no,
because
no.
every freaking window pops up. Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Hey, what about this? Done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
But like another positive company that I'll mention here that it fell off for some people, but like our group will pick it up every once in a while. Is Valheim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Low poly game, lots of effort into it.
Well, it's the same standard of Hello Games too, of not necessarily negative PR trying to save it, but it's just like, hey, we got this update coming out. Here you go. Hey, we
Yeah,
got this update coming. Here you go. It just is new stuff to do, new everything to do.
like still technically in beta. Like once they finally finish the North, they'll finally release it as a quote full game.
Oh,
But even still, like they, we have like what I at least minimally have. Hold on. I have 373 hours into the game. Um,
I got about
I
52.
I've spent a lot of fucking time in that game. And you know, I, it's just one of those games where I'm like, all right, I'll just play this like with the friends. But they'll still come back and be like, oh, here's an update. Here's another update. You're expecting the North to come out? Yeah, we're not done with that. We were cooking on that. But here's a combat update, and you're like, all right. I mean, sure. Like,
fine with that.
so like they've done a pretty good job on it, and like I was saying, like games that people get really excited about, like when they get you'll just get updates out of nowhere. Fucking Terraria,
Yeah,
right?
Terraria has been a big one.
Terraria, Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
yeah.
there's for Stardew Valley. I still think the main guys. It hasn't received its 1.7 update, has it yet?
I
Because
don't.
I swear they keep talking about the it's coming out soon, or unless it has already.
It might have come out.
God, I gotta. Where can I see the actual?
Hey, okay.
Because I know that was a big thing too. Because he's also going to work on, or that guy's going to work on his other game. I mean, Pow World is still getting updates, and
Yeah. So like
a game you would
we
think
can look
that
at like the positives, but
there are positives, but there are also games out there you can see of just either being around that long. It's just they would be prime targets for microtransactions to be in there. Again, going back to Valheim, to
yeah,
Stardew Valley, to Terraria, it's like you guys have been working on these games long enough. It is a shocker you're not asking for, hey, in-game currency, pay this to, sort of keep us going.
yeah.
Alrighty. It's been about 2:15. So, we'll go ahead and start wrapping up this one.
Hmm.
Because again, I think we got pretty good on the microtransactions of how annoying they are and how awful they are.
Final viewpoint.
Yeah, final viewpoint. Everybody did the final viewpoint.
I'm still gonna go with indie companies good, passion project companies good, AAA companies bad.
Very good.
I mean, and eventually, like I said, eventually, like realistically, and we're gonna be honest here, is like the consumer market is going to bite back.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hit some of these companies hard, and I'm excited to see the downfall of some of these like AAA companies. Like absolutely so excited.
Oh, same. And for mine is microtransactions are only good for paying for aesthetics to keep a game going alive and stuff like that, which again I'm perfectly fine for. Example being Dota, examples being Where the Winds Meet, Blue Protocol to save a few, and stuff like that. Like I'm perfectly fine with them doing all that stuff, nothing else. Um, so yeah, I agree with that one.
I guess my turn next.
Yep.
Just get Train Simulator. It's the only game you need, and if you're just gonna waste money, just buy all the 700 pieces of DLC for it.
You know what? That's the best thing to leave off of. I'm good with that.
Like, if you just want to give up on gaming and just do it.
Just do that. All right, so we'll be back next Tuesday again at 8:15 Eastern with our next topic. Again, we'll let Patreon vote for the next topic. I'll be uploading all of um, the poll there. If no one votes for anything, because again we still have a very small amount of patrons and people, so if no one actually votes there, then we'll just pick a random topic from the actual things and keep making up. I think what we'll have is overall company greed. Pretty much just what we kind of bulked up, talked about now. The rise and fall of NFTs, the anime dropped the ball, and then it's taking place of microtransactions is going to be Bugs Bunny versus Deadpool, who can out troll the other, and um, um, we'll also bring in like Deadpool versus Howard the Duck and stuff like that. But yeah,
Can I
we'll
suggest another topic?
yeah, you could suggest one. Let me know and I'll put it in there.
Well, it's something for you guys to think about it too, but the type of games, or at least games that you have played, that you believe don't get talked about enough.
Ooh, I like that one.
And that can be compounded with, games that you feel get talked about too much, and then like games you have specifically played, you've enjoyed, and it's like there is no one talking about this, or it has, in even in movie terms, how you have those like small movies that have a cult following to them, in a
My
sense.
God,
You
I
know what I
already
mean?
know exactly what I'm going to talk about when we do that. So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to say games that that are not talked about too much versus and games that are talked about too much. Um, so yeah, I have exactly what I'm going to say for that one.
Alternatively, um, Iggy.
I know Iggy's
No one
coming
talks
in with
about Final Fantasy 14.
a
Not sponsored.
not sponsored. Iggy
um,
wants to be sponsored by them.
right. Alternatively, we could talk about movies that should that's like guilty pleasures.
Yeah. I got
Yeah, we can do that
several.
one. So I'll take all these and I'll put it up on the poll. Like I said, we'll put it up on our Patreon. Um, whichever one has the highest vote, we'll pick on and we'll talk about starting next week. We'll just keep doing this because I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. All right, y'all. I'm done for the night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks to this new schedule and this giant confusing hiccups, I now figured out that I'll actually be able to stream and play games much more frequently, which I'm really happy
Hooray!
by that. But anyways, y'all have a good one. Bye.